Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the 360 Sports Show. I am Andrew Pizzelli. He is Christian Lauber, and we are coming to you live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Reach us anytime in the comment sections of those live streams to bring us your thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns. So we're going to jump right on in, try and run through some of this stuff. It ain't all pretty. So, Christian, amongst the mess...
I would say it's mostly ugly.
It ain't all pretty. I was trying to say it's not all pretty. That would imply that there's some pretty things there. It's a mess. So amongst the mess, the ugly mess, where do you want to start?
Let's just do this quick and get it out of the way first. The Red Sox are just an absolute colossal failure.
Okay.
I know they're in the ball locker, but
I'd say hold on. Yeah, we're gonna get. We would require more. We would require more than that. It's like a dig down deep, but we've summoned them up with a special spell to look at them.
It's such a dumpster fire, and it's such a bleep show that you just can't ignore it. So, we can do it quickly. Chris Sale falls off his bike. He's out for the season. Jarren Duran cannot see the ball in the sun. Any amount of sunlight, he cannot see the ball in center field. It's absolutely hilarious, and they lose almost every night, and they're going nowhere fast. They have no talks of signing their two best players. Trevor Story, who they just paid a bunch of money, is also injured, and he's probably not coming back. Houck is on the 15-day DL. I mean, the list goes on. It's actually hilarious.
It's
at this point.
It's comical, right? But it's sad. The thing with Sale, I mean, let's just do it because I'll bring it up again, and it'll just have to be a footnote.
Glass man.
He broke his finger first.
Well, that was that's not a fluke though. He got hit with a line drive.
I know, but I'm saying his finger's broken. And now, I mean, listen, maybe Chris Sale is just not a good bike rider. Maybe something crazy happened. Maybe a guy pulled out in front of him. I mean, Boston is not necessarily the place I'd recommend like riding your bike on the streets. And he got like knocked off his bike and he puts his hand. What are you doing? Like, if you're a professional athlete, especially if you're one who is made of almost powder like he is.
Well, I saw.
Why would you be doing anything like this? Is like we saw Tom Brady like cliff diving a few years ago. People were like, "What are you doing?" But true, but it goes right to your point. Nobody cares. Your players a player who's hurt, who should be rehabbing, who should be like, oh my gosh, let me take care of my hand, is out riding. Guess what doesn't help like broken fingers mend? Rattling around on the handlebars down the cobblestones. All right? Like
I think he literally just probably went to like a beach up in Boston along the coast there on the Cape and just sent himself off a sandy road and just into the water.
Do we believe that he actually hurt himself bike riding? Do you believe it?
I have no idea anymore.
I don't. I mean, there's enough doubt for me to say like it is totally plausible that that's not the case. That's not true. Which is just ridiculous. I mean, sure. And also the string of injuries. Like, how does one? I've seen plenty of unlucky athletes. There's been guys who it's their career is just not being able to stay healthy. But like I've never seen it this many times in a calendar year. He was supposed to pitch the whole year. They told the fan base he would be pitching this whole year. And then lo and behold, he misses the start of the year, and then he's working his way back, and he hurts his rib, and then now he's back. Two starts? And then hurts, and then gets the finger hurt, and now this mysterious bike crash. What is it with this guy? One of the worst contract. The extension they gave him in 2018 after they won the World Series was just so ludicrous. Like, what gave you any inkling then that this guy was going to, like, give you 200 innings in a season ever again in his career? And go figure, he hasn't. I don't know. Do you think he's like, I mean, some of these injuries, do you think, I said that, like, does he have a gambling problem? Is like somebody coming to collect debts? And it's like, you know, I tripped. I broke a rib. I tripped.
I think Colin might be onto
I fell off my handlebar.
Colin might be onto something.
Let's check in here. Colin in the comment section. After the Sox returned from whence they came, just set the ball locker on fire. Yes. He fell off the bike and then injured himself karate chopping the bike.
I think that
right?
might be correct. He probably got mad at the bike for having him fall off the bike, which in turn made him probably take it to a hallway where he thought nobody was watching, and he started karate chopping it
Down an alley.
Yeah, somewhere, and he probably broke his wrist on the bike itself, not falling off of it. The bike tripped him.
I mean, you hear there's people have these fluke type injuries like once a career, like a non-playing, like the guy gets hurt practicing. The guy gets hurt riding his bike.
Back to the ball locker. Throw him back in.
Oh, God. And we need a, like, flame.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we need to do, Christian. At the end of the summer, when football season is really about to begin, we clean out the ball locker, and we give her a nice, good fire cleaning.
I think the Red Sox should be in the Star Wars Episode 4 trash compactor. That's where they are.
With no droids coming to help.
Yeah, no, nobody's coming to help them. They're just in there.
There is no hope.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So that's a whole...
Speaking of no hope, want to turn to the Patriots?
Let's go. Let's keep on.
Rattle
Choo
'em off.
choo. Full steam ahead on the negative train. Go ahead. What? I mean, I was small c concerned. That C is growing every day here. But take us through,
Yeah.
Christian. This.
Yeah, you know, last week you read some stuff that the offense is having a tough time, which you would expect. It's early in practice. And then time has gone on, and they've gotten worse. So, yeah, I would say not ideal as you're heading towards, I believe this Thursday is your first preseason game.
Yep.
Where Bill Belichick might just bench everybody that would start in a typical game because they all are way behind, apparently. And I think there is some layers to this. One of which is my personal favorite, the coaching or lack thereof, and the offensive line, I guess, in tandem. But the coaching to me is a big, big issue. You don't come into the season with a coordinator. You're changing the offense to a Shanahan-style scheme. That's what all the reporters are saying. And I just want to – I'll give you an early thought. I just want to get I want to pull up a couple tweets that I found pretty eye-opening.
Yeah, this whole thing, like the coaching thing, I was going to reserve like utter complete judgment on because I thought you have guys who are from in-house previously and they have familiarity. There would be familiarity. It seems like they're just scrapping the whole thing. And it's not year two for everybody. Year two for Mac Jones, year two for Mac Jones. This is essentially year one again.
Mm-hmm.
For your entire team, which is what happens when you bring in people from the outside
No true coordinator.
and you change everything and you don't have a true coordinator. So you have no structure and you have a new system. This is worrisome. Really, really worrisome. Now, good players can overcome bad coaching, and maybe they'll end up having enough talent to get to like find a way to walk through the fire and figure it out during preseason and the early stages of the regular season. But man, now this is all the hallmarks of bad teams. Is the stuff we're seeing right now. We thought the defense would be the problem.
I mean,
Go
rattle
ahead.
some off for you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is August 8th, so this is yesterday. Now, they had a bit of a better day today because they didn't have any competitive periods where the offensive line was on the field. So
Yeah.
there is that. But Greg Bedard, Boston Sports Journal, arguably the worst start of offense to camp. Here's their drive, or their run through. False start, 77. Stuff, incomplete. Stuff at handoff. Sack. Flat, 1 yard, would have been blown up if live. Incomplete. Sack on a waggle. 1 yard pass blown up by Wilson. Stuff, 5 yards flat to Myers. And the beat goes on. I mean, this has been the entire training camp so far. This is all we've seen from the offense. Stuff, incomplete. Mac Jones would have been annihilated. Jones would have been annihilated. Stuff, run. Sack, stuff, run. Yard to the flat, 5 yards out into the seam. Oh, it's going to be a nightmare. I can already see it coming.
But Christian, what if maybe the Patriots have the best defense in the NFL, and it's just, they're going against the best defense, so of course they're going to look bad.
I will warn everybody right now, if they are looking this poor against their own defense, they're in trouble, big time. Now, I actually think maybe I put too much stock into their offensive line. I thought their offensive line would be a little bit better, especially you have Andrews, you have Wynn, you have some guys there that have been there, Trent Brown. But I'll be honest, I think the coaching is a huge issue. Not having McDaniels is going to really be glaring. For all my gripes with him and his play calling, having him around to kind of tutor Mac Jones was huge last year. Not having any coordinator or one of the coordinators that both failed head coaches who sucked at other places, they're in a world of trouble here. And I think, yes, it's just practice. People keep saying it's just practice. Who cares? But there's
where
layers.
you build good habits.
There's also 2 weeks here now of practice, and it hasn't gotten better. So apparently they were a little bit better today, but also they didn't play 11-11 or anything like that. So I don't know. We'll see. We have David Andrews trying to start something on the offense. He's trying to fight with Barmore today. They got into a scuffle and both got thrown out of practice. So there is some attitude there from Andrews, and I like Andrews. Unfortunately, he's the only guy that appears to have that fire underneath him.
Yeah, I mean, and I was worried about what we'd get out of Judge and Patricia on the offensive side, but I thought they were going to be trying to do the same thing that you had done in the past and not try and upheave Mac Jones here. Because think about it, if this fails, this is what think bigger picture. If this fails this year, if they have a bad year and Belichick has to fire both Patricia and
hopefully himself
and Judge and himself, or say that happens. Say Kraft says, you know what? Hey, Bill, a year too early rather than a year too late on you. So then Mac Jones in his third year will have his third set of coaching staffs, his third coordinator. It's not good. Like it seems crazy to think like you might be right now. I feel like you're closer to circling the toilet bowl than you are to climbing the ladder in your division, let alone the conference. I mean, so who knows? Watch. They could show up, like a cat on fire on Thursday and run through the Giants. And you know what? It won't matter because it don't count. Now, maybe it would help them build some confidence. I think what happens Thursday does matter in terms of that. But
I legitimately wonder if we're going to see anybody play, though. Mac Jones, I wonder how much he's actually going to play if Bill wants to hide these guys because they're not ready.
Sure, but I mean, if you need the reps, you're not going to.
Of course you do. That's what I'm saying. But Belichick, he's 2 steps ahead of everybody else. He's hiding until the next preseason game.
I don't know. With only 3, I can't see him saying, if I lose power, if I disappear, Christian, it's because I've lost power. Just so everybody knows, big old clap of thunder, just a little ways over there.
Good to know.
But we needed the rain. But for real, that was distracting. I think they can't afford to like play this game. And I think if you had Tom Brady and you had all these other things, or if Mac Jones was rolling, it was him and McDaniels. You throw him out there for 2 series, go score 2 touchdowns, or go move the ball. Hey, we're good. All right, let's give the 110 other people we have some run here to find out what we really have because we don't know any of these other guys. This offense needs to get in gear.
Yeah. Well,
if they only play like a quarter, which could, be 1 or 2 series. That's bad. I don't think that's good.
Oh, it's a terrible sign if they don't play much in this game. I will say that's probably not a good sign, because they're having to now scrap what they were doing the last 2 weeks because it sucked so bad, and simplify things already here. And we're August 9th. I mean, there's only a month away, and there's been no improvement really.
Yeah. So that game is Thursday, 2 days away. Have to try and watch. We do have. Look at this. Colin from the comment section. We've got eyes and boots on the ground, Christian.
Oh, I heard that. Jeez. All right, I'm gonna finish early here because I'm gonna be by myself for most of this. I have a feeling.
Colin says, I went to see training camp for the first time in years and years. The running game looked good. The receivers looked good. Mac's arm looked better. That O-line was disheveled. They have too much talent to look so bad. Perhaps it's coaching.
Beard, pencil. I wonder who that is.
Well, yeah. The other thing too is like,
who's the offensive line coach again? Can you just remind me?
A man who looks like he should be an offensive line coach. Yeah.
Yeah. I might lose power too. I just heard it right behind me. So.
Cool. Our first show in 2 weeks, and Mother Nature's gonna say no. Oh, you almost got me there for a second.
Yeah.
Coming into this year, everybody thought it was going to be the defense. Like, what is the defense has to get better? The defense is going to have to get better. If it ends up being the offense that's the issue, I think that's, like I said, that's more problematic. Long-term future of the team, let alone what you do this season. What did we say
at the start of when we saw this coming into the season, though? Started with the coaching, and already it's kind of looking that way. Joe Judge, Matt Patricia are at the forefront of this thing already, and we're in week 2, so I don't know. Look out.
Last bit of NFL news. Well, two things of NFL news. Deshaun Watson is officially suspended. Recommended suspension of 6 games, handed down by this arbitrator. The NFL has appealed. It is seeking an indefinite suspension. And bigger fines and all this. Who knows how long this process will take to play out. I think we can all agree 6 games ain't enough. All I want to know is, why did the NFL do this? They already won precedent with Tom Brady that they have unilateral authority to just suspend people. They could have just suspended him the year. And then let the Browns, if they want, go fight the case in court. The Browns probably wouldn't have, because the Browns probably want to get the guy out. Maybe Deshaun Watson decides to take it to court, but guess what? The best lawyers and the best appeals and everything came up with the same conclusion. The commissioner has the authority. So why then did they go to a court to ask, what should we do? And now you're stuck with that. Like, I don't really see where the NFL is going to, like, win a case again to, like, get a better recommendation. It'd be more on them to just... It's like they wanted to have some legal backing to backstop it. It's like, you already went through this. It makes no sense.
I just think it's weird that the precedent in the NFL is 4 games for deflated footballs, a season for betting on your own team who stunk, and then 6 games for this guy who has a bunch of felony charges and all the other crap that's going on with him.
Oh, how about this? Indefinite suspension if you smoke a little bit of weed.
Yeah.
Right? Ricky Williams had his career basically derailed. Josh Gordon, Josh Gordon has other issues, but it's been marijuana. That's what's kept him out of the league. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers can take freaking acid and gloat about it, and everybody writes puff pieces. Oh, look at Aaron. He's like does this stuff to help his mind.
Natural. Isn't karma.
Isn't this cool? It's like, no, the dude's doing drugs. What? How is that not a banned substance? It's illegal.
I don't think
marijuana is legal, yet the NFL keeps, suspending players for that. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers can go do whatever he's doing.
But here's the thing: I don't think Aaron Rodgers he cleanses himself so much that there's nothing to trace. Even though he said he did it, you just can't trace it because it's just like he does these weird rituals of panchakarma.
He evacuates his body on a daily basis
from all places. Yeah. What a strange man.
So that whole thing, we'll see what happens. I will say what's kind of shady is, shady or shrewd. This could be a new segment that we come up with. Shady or shrewd. The Cleveland Browns structuring that contract extension. So basically, Deshaun Watson is being paid $1 million this year. So if he's suspended and docked pay, it's really like about $300K.
Yeah.
He gets paid $46 million next year, a season.
Well, the Browns are stupid too. I don't know.
So I don't know. Shady or shrewd? Or stupid? Should it be all, one of the three?
S cubed. That's what we're going to call this segment. Shady, shrewd, stupid.
Yeah.
Pick one.
All of the above. The other thing in terms of league decisions, the investigation, all part of Brian Flores' whole, suit against the league was this whole stuff about the Dolphins incentivizing losing and wanting to lose, and possible collusion and tampering to try and get Tom Brady and Sean Payton. They couldn't find any evidence of enticements to lose games. Probably there was words spoken, but hey,
I'm not
hearsay, right? No direct evidence, it would seem, which is
no direct evidence, but it probably happened.
Yeah, which is smart. And again, tampering happens all the time across all sports. There is tampering, but usually you're not dumb enough to get caught and to get caught bad. And so the Dolphins find multiple draft picks. Stephen Ross fined millions and millions of dollars because they were tampering with Tom Brady while he was still under contract with the Patriots during the 2019 season, and they were trying to get Sean Payton there as well. They were trying to orchestrate this whole thing, which that stuff happens, and people want to make an argument, you shouldn't do that, and Tom shouldn't have listened to them. Listen, these guys, I do think it's kind of unfortunate, like it's weird that like nothing happens to Brady in this instance. It's like there should be a repercussion for a player kind of like allowing himself to be tampered, I guess. That's collusion, I thought, right? He's under contract. The obligation goes both ways between the team and him and the team. So nothing for Tom Brady, but a lot of things for the Dolphins, who now are, what are they going to do? Because you don't have Tom Brady. You're not going to have draft picks.
No Sean Payton.
No Sean Payton. My house is shaking. That's what happens. You talk.
Can't tell if that's behind me or if it's behind you or both.
Both.
Probably both.
It's probably both. Somewhere in the middle. I don't know. Somewhere in that whole long rant there is this whole situation with Tom Brady and the Dolphins. I think it's obviously this stuff happens. It's crazy that it's actually bad enough to get like exposed and proven. Your thoughts, Christian, on this whole situation? Does it affect you any more as a Patriots fan to know Tom Brady was colluding, wanted to go to the Dolphins, and had this whole thing set up?
No, because I think he was gone either way. I don't think this was like the first. I don't want to say tamper. Maybe he was tampering with other teams, or maybe he wasn't. Who cares? But he knew he was done after the 2019 season. Bill kind of, rubbed him out that way. So, like, he was pushing him out far before.
What did he do to him?
Don't make it weird. It makes perfect sense in the context. He was pushing him out the entire time. So, I don't know. 2019 was Brady's last year. I knew that before the 2019 season started. So I could care less.
Okay. Mark tape. We'll go back and find that one. Hey, I would leave too if that's what was happening. Goodness. Good.
Alex Guerrero handles the massages.
It all ties back in to this Deshaun Watson conversation. Anyway, to transition here and to move on to some other topics of interest, we will do hot and not.
It's time for hot.
Hot.
You want to talk about hot?
Hot.
Please stop doing that.
Doing what?
Continue. Go ahead.
And not.
God, is he a moron? Oh my God, he doesn't shut up.
It's so stupid.
Stupid decisions.
Dum-dums. The naughtiest knot of the year.
Oof. Suck fest. Suck sauce.
On the 360 Sports Show.
All right, Christian. Hot and not, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, pluses, minuses. What is hot for you this week?
So it's not really hot. It's more of a knot, but it's a hot mess. And I think it's hilarious. So it's kind of a hot for me. Durant, I'm going with Jaren Durant. I think his center fielding is just, it's got to be, yeah, I mean, it symbolizes the season kind of, but his inability to catch a fly ball in the sunlight as a professional baseball player with sunglasses on, I think is hilarious. Now, could I catch them? I don't think so, but it's still funny to me because I'm not playing professionally. So, yeah, hot mess Durant is my hot for the week.
It's so not, it's hot. Which is
Pretty much.
by our rules we allow. This one for me cropped up just I think 2 days ago. This is what could be the highlight of the New York Jets season. They finished up their green and white scrimmage. Let me get rid of our bar here so we can show this in full. They finished up their scrimmage. And AJ, who has stage 1 cerebral palsy, don't know his last name in the article. They let him come on and play quarterback here, or running back at the end. He takes off, runs in the end. So the whole, obviously, the C's part, they let him in. I love this sort of stuff. I mean, the kid's fired up. The team's fired up. They want him to spike the ball. They all go nuts when he eventually spikes it. Stuff like this is just great, right? I mean, this is great to see. I mean, it takes so little from the team to do something like that. That just made, I mean, that's a memory for forever for that kid. I don't know. This stuff just makes you feel good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, why would you not? You give this kid an opportunity to do something like this.
So,
Isn't it every kid's dream to kind of hop on the field and go meet professional players, play, a pickup game or whatever it is with them?
oh, and then they have,
cool to see. Families involved as well.
yeah. So, I thought that was awesome. And yeah, that'll probably be the highlight of the Jet season.
Yeah, a little sales pitch at the end too with the season tickets.
Yeah. So that was awesome. I thought that was a hot thing. Christian, what is not for you?
What is not? I just went to Deshaun Watson because I think the whole thing is just, it's so NFL. It's so the difference in suspensions all over the league. We've seen it going back to like Adrian Peterson, Ray Rice, all that stuff compared to deflated footballs and stuff. It's just the beat goes on with the NFL and their suspensions. Now, who knows? He might get suspended for the year. Rodgers pushing for that, so we'll see. I mean, he's already said he wants him done for a year. Will that happen? Who knows? But I just think it's comical that it's, planned 6 games, 2 more than deflating a football for all the stuff that Deshaun Watson has been involved in here.
Yeah.
Laughable.
Not for me. We already went over this extensively. The Chris Sale situation. Like, it's so bad. And on top of it, we didn't bring this up today. Chaim Bloom in his little press conference about this. Oh, we expect to have Chris for the entirety of the 2023 season. Do you? Do you really? If I were a betting man, I would lay a lot of money on that not happening.
I would ask him, do you expect to have Rafael Devers or Xander Bogaerts for the entirety of the 2023 season?
Yeah. That's more important. Like, book it. Chris Sale's not going to play an entire season next year. How many more years is he under contract for? I heard that one.
Yeah. Either I'm hungry or it's loud outside. I don't know.
Let's see. Chris
Sale, I believe, has
Sale.
3 years left.
God, so bad. So bad. Yep, 3 years left. $27 million next year, $27 million the year after that, $20 million in 2025. What a steal. What a steal. For a guy that
For Chris, it was a steal.
I mean, for
some money for that one.
since he signed this deal, let's see. 19, 20, 21, 22. Let's see. Chris Sale. I just want to look at his stats. It's got to be laughable what he's done in the last few years. Since he signed this contract, how many games do you think he has played in, Christian, since he signed this contract in 2018.
How many games?
5 years, $145 million extension. How many games do you think he's played in since then?
Since then. Not even. Probably like 16?
36, surprisingly.
Oh, that's higher than I thought.
25
that's
and
not good by any means, but it's higher than I thought.
25 in 2019. So he was able to give them 147 innings. Then 9 games in 2021, 42 innings. Only 2 games this year.
Classic.
And it's like even 2018, like 214 innings his first year, right? And then it was 158 in 2018. And he had already had problems with durability before that.
Yeah.
It's like you got the World Series out of him. Play him that last year and then let him, if he has a great year, maybe he goes somewhere else, whatever. You're not going to like shell out. I thought we didn't have any interest in paying pitchers over 30. And then they've just gone totally against all of their words all the time. A mess. Let's talk about something else that's a mess. Again, these are issues that are like they get chucked in the ball locker. I don't think we've chucked this particular player in the ball locker. But the Kevin Durant thing, he's not traded. All the same rumors are swirling. I believe really nothing. I believe the reporting, though, on this, that he allegedly has now reiterated. He pulled a they didn't respond to his email for 7 days over a weekend, and then he's like, just wanted to follow up. Did you see what I said about a month ago? And that he basically wants them to choose between him and firing or getting rid of the rest of the team, or the GM and the coach. And it baffles my mind because the franchise, the Nets, have done literally everything that he wanted. Like, pair him with Kyrie. Go get DeAndre Jordan. Start DeAndre Jordan over, Jared Allen. Trade all these young guys. Go after James Harden. Bring him in. Oh, it's not working. Oh, they wanted Steve Nash. Steve Nash was allegedly the coach they wanted. They bring in Steve, get rid of Atkinson, a young coach that had done a great job with a young team. Now he wants the owners to get rid of Sean Marks. Sean Marks has done only all that Kevin Durant's wanted, and now is literally doing the best job he can with a team that has no draft capital for the next 7 years. Again, it's not going to happen. They're not going to cave to that, and if they do, I think already this is just setting the tables for what's going to be. Oh, goodness. Boom. For what is going to be there's an opt-out in the CBA after next year. Yeah. It's gonna happen. Owners are fed up with this. Players also are fed up. Oh, we're fed up. We can't just go wherever we want. We have to honor contracts. There's gonna be a lockout, and this stuff's gonna get hammered out because there can't be any more of this. You can't sign a 5-year deal and then a year into it, or not even a year into it, be like, well, trade me somewhere else. Mm-hmm. They're gonna build in it's strict no trade clauses for the first 2 years of these 5-year max contracts. It doesn't matter whether you're happy or not, or whether the team's happy or not. You can't be moved. It forces you to have to make it work. After 2-3 years, it doesn't work. Well, at least there was an effort there. This thing here, I can't see the Nets caving to this and giving him now even more of what he wants, which is ludicrous. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I mean, can they start a season this way? I don't know what else. Unless they just decide to just take pennies for Durant from somebody because they just want to be rid of him now.
I don't think they're going to do that, though.
I don't think they do that either. So I don't know how this plays out at all.
I don't know, but I think we should make a pact right now. We're not talking about it until he actually moves because all this rumor mill and stuff is just getting tiring.
Oh, yeah. You just get spun into it.
It's Jaylen Brown. I mean, the Celtics are right there in rumors, and everybody seems to think they have a real chance. I just don't see it right now, but hey, what do you know? What do I know? Oh, did we lose him? give it a minute. I think we're off. Might lose me here in a second too, but I'll move on. I'll see if he shows back up. If not, we only got one more thing to talk about, which is the Boston Bruins. So I'll just do that real quick. And he will be back in a moment. So I guess I'll just continue then where he left off. So he will be back in 1 second, hopefully, unless the power goes out again. But the Durant rumors, how am I going to get this to move now? Well, there we go. We're going voice. So I would say for Durant, he obviously wants out of Brooklyn, but if nobody gives them the price, I truly just don't see how he moves. The Celtics are supposedly rumored to be in on Durant, and a lot of people are confirming those reports, Shams and a couple others. But I just don't see, if you're the Celtics, why this move makes sense anyway for Durant. Why would you trade a younger, more potential there for Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant? Just doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Power difficulties here. All right, I'm going to take a break, and then I'll come back when if Andrew returns, and we'll talk the Bruins, and then probably get off because I think we're going to run out of juice here anyway.
Well, I'm back.
I went to commercial because I couldn't get this line out of the way because I'm not on the other one. So, yeah,
There we go. Back where we belong.
maybe. I think we should wrap up here pretty soon.
Yeah. Let's finish her up, Christian. So, yeah, enough about Durant. We will leave him be until something actually happens. I consider what happened, yesterday, something happening. More ludicrousness. So if more insanity happens and if he actually is traded, that's when we'll discuss. All right, quickly, moving along. Let's end the show on a positive note. The Boston Bruins actually had a bit of good news.
It's something
This week. David Krejci is back. Patrice Bergeron is back. Looks like we're rallying up for one more run at this thing. Is Tuukka Rask coming back again too? I hope not.
No way.
But a little bit of good news for the Bruins here.
Yeah, and Pavel Zacha. Don't leave out Pavel Zacha. He's a good pickup from the New Jersey Devils. So here's where I'm at with the Bruins. I think it's smart to do this if Krejci wants back for one more run. I also think this can kind of galvanize a group because I think this is it for Bergeron. I think this is get the band back together for one more run. And their top 6, if guys actually come back and are remotely healthy, their top 6 is pretty good. Bergeron, Marchand, DeBrusk, and then you're looking at a line 2 of Hall, Krejci, and Pasternak. I mean, that's pretty good. And I think Krejci has more left than Bergeron. I'll say that. He's a little bit younger as well. So when Krejci was playing here for his final year, he was really good when Hall got here. Really good in the Czech, which is not the same level as NHL. And then you bring in Zacha as well, so he can fill a void. And you have a new coach. So hopefully these guys are ready to go. And we've seen this before. Ray Lewis last year, they win a championship. David Ortiz, they almost did it for David Ortiz, kind of. So this can kind of get a group going together. It doesn't always work out, and there's a lot of good teams in the league. But Krejci, I thought, is a smart move because it's a one-year deal. It kind of gives you some cushion to find, hopefully, another guy. And maybe Zacha is a guy moving forward. And also, I still think Krejci has something left. So with Hall and Pasternak, that line could be insane.
In today's day and age, where we are with health and training and all this stuff, to only be 36, there's guys playing till they're 43. Tom Brady just turned 45 and is playing professional football. So, and I know it's a quarterback position. Guess what? He still takes hits. And guess what? Most people at the age of 45, even 10 years ago, couldn't last just, anymore. So Krejci being 36, I mean, hey, if it works out, I mean, I'm happy as long as he's got something left in the tank every year, keep signing him 1-year deals. Hopefully they can find a way, though, to develop some young guys while you have some guys that are actually good still on this team that they can learn under. That's the hope. So, I won't care about how the Bruins start if there's actual talent, young talent, that can find its way onto the ice and learn from some of these guys. And so it's not like you're totally just blowing it up and starting from scratch. So, we shall see. Christian, to wrap up here before Mother Nature decides to pull the plug on the show once again, your thoughts, expectations, let's run through it once more. For this Thursday for the New England Patriots in their first preseason game against the New York Giants. How long do the starters play, and will it matter what happens in the game? Well, should we overreact or underreact to it, or should we just completely not even care about what it looks like?
You should definitely care because I don't think it's trending in the right direction yet. Not even close, to be honest with you. So we all knew the coaching issues. We all knew the rest of it. I would expect the starters. I would hope to see them at least a half in this game. If not, I'll be a little bit worried. You might get a quarter out of them, but if they don't play at all, look out. Number 2, yes, it matters. I think they need to show up and actually get some reps in game because it doesn't look good in practice. Maybe it looks a little bit better in the game. Who knows? But these preseason games, there's only 3 of them. They're trending in a terrible way here to start. They need some positivity coming out of this game.
Yep, I agree. I think you got to see the starters for at least a half on offense. The offense needs to be out there for a half to find what they're doing. Now, unless they go out and it's like they have 2 drives, touchdowns, and it's like 8-9 plays, 5-6 minute drives for touchdowns, 80 yards. You know what? Seen enough. That's it.
Yeah.
Get everybody else out there because you got joint practices ahead of you, and you got another preseason game. With the Panthers, leave, if you really like what you see in this first one, you got a lot of other guys to get through. But you can't just say, we got to see all these other guys, so we're not going to give the starters reps that they need. It starts with the starters. So we'll see. That is 2 days away, and we will certainly be giving you our, hopefully not overreaction, but certainly a reaction
Honest
to that
opinion.
Next week. So
One thing we're good for is honesty.
Yes. We may not be right, but we're honest.
We're honest, exactly.
So thank you to all of you who joined in here, stuck through it here with us tonight through a lightning delay. You can rewatch this edition or any edition of the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And if you missed us live and want to take us to go, you can download and listen to the podcast, subscribe through Sounder FM or wherever you get your podcasts from. So for Christian Lauber, I'm Andrew Pizzelli. Have a good